There's a ticker. And what I'm going to do is go to this. Back to editor, and we are going to be going live. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. I am joined here tonight by Zachary Wilson. Zach, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Josh. How about you, bud?
Doing well. Sorry, brain fart on the name. It's been a long day for me today. But we're just wrapping up practice here at Daytona International Speedway, and we're going to be doing the Dean's IDesigns 125 tonight here from Talladega. Man, I'm excited to see this. These guys put on a great show last night, and we're hoping to see another one tonight.
Yeah, we're at the World Center Racing here in Daytona. You know, this 2.5 mile, 31-degree banked corners, should provide for some great racing tonight, some super speedway action we've got going on with these trucks.
Yeah, as you can see here, we're going to be running 49 laps. Right now, 72 degrees, 57% humidity, cloudy, but it's nighttime, so the clouds aren't really going to do much here, but 10-mile-an-hour wind can play a little bit of havoc with these guys.
Yeah, and with these 49 laps here, we do have a stage break at lap 15, so it's going to be a 15-lap sprint here in the beginning for these guys to rack up some early points as we see Jacob Bowen rolling out, trying to get a qualified lap down.
Yeah, we got a pretty stout field here tonight. We got a little surprise in store tonight as well. Have a little.
Yeah, a big name coming in to join some of these guys to mix it up and maybe teach them a thing or two.
See Max McClure rolling out on track right now. Don't want to ruin the surprise too early. Let's see who else we got on track right now. We've got our very own Intensity Broadcasting partner, Joseph Wright, on track. About to make his run here.
Yeah, so the big key with these qualifying laps, you'll notice they have 2 laps to try to turn the fastest time. You'll see a lot of these gals run right up against the wall for that first lap to really get these trucks wound up tight. They punch a big hole in the air. You know, there's a lot of drag to these big heavy trucks, so they'll spend that first lap around the outside, gaining that speed, and then you'll see them glued to the bottom, doing the best they can to hug that bottom line to turn a quick lap.
So we see Dustin Dean, our sponsor for tonight. Dustin runs Dean's IDesigns. He is our 2020 iOS Cup Series champion last season as well. So if you're looking for a nice flyer, poster, or graphic, check out facebook.com/Dean's iDesigns. He can hook you up with something. Go ahead and check that out if you can. Also, who else we got on track right now?
As we see the new driver of the number 16 in the Camping World Truck Series, Haley Deegan, going to jump in here with these boys tonight, maybe teach them a thing or two. Good to see her out here. We thank her a lot for coming and joining in with the league. I know it's big for some of these guys to run with someone, and we wish her luck as she goes through her season and makes her first Super Speedway debut in the Truck Series in Daytona in a few weeks. She posts a P8 time currently.
Let's see what else we have out on track right now. We got a fan favorite right here, Brian Nudie. He's got half price on his calendar with every pizza. It's let's see who's trying to check the sponsor on the side of that truck. I know he used to be sponsored by Gill's Dump Truck Services, but I know they unfortunately had to close down. The workload was too much working those couple hours on Sunday, so But up at the point right now, Chris Wheeler in that 22 machine, as he's coming
Yeah,
around, making his final lap here.
he turned a great time there. Great time with a 52.307 to take him to the top of the board, sitting on top of our uh, Haley Deegan here with a 52.32. Ultimately, though, with qualifying, you could qualify anywhere. We know the big one's going to happen at some point tonight with these guys. Once the laps wind down, patience starts running thin, and with these close quarters racings that we'll have, a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving around it. It's like short track racing at 190 to 195 miles an hour.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize with these trucks, because they're so square and like you said, they punch such a big hole, but the air moves around so much, and you'll actually see these trucks move almost a lane, lane and a half, sometimes by themselves, just due to the air coming off the other trucks.
Yeah, it really causes them to buff it, and it upsets the truck, especially when you get someone to your outside. It takes a lot of that side force off the truck, and it can upset them very easily. We'll see a lot of side drafting coming into effect tonight, and those you get too close side drafting, and net code comes and bites you, or you just happen to get in the guy below you, and it could trigger something major.
That's for sure. And a lot of guys know me and Joe kind of cut our teeth here on iRacing and the super speedways. This is some of our favorite racing, so it's something that when you know it, you love it. You either love it or you hate it. Some people absolutely love super speedway racing. Other people just can't stand it. It's a write-off race for them, or they really don't even want to show up.
Yeah, me personally, I love super speedway racing. There's a lot of intensity involved behind it. You feel like anything can happen. From the time the green flag flies at lap one till you cross the line with however many laps you're running. It doesn't matter what position you're in. You still have a chance. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys run this tonight and who will come out on top.
And it's a short race too. It's almost a sprint race, being 49 laps. And you said the stage breaks at 15, I believe you said.
Yep, stage break at lap 15. At the conclusion of lap 15, they'll divvy out some stage points, and then it'll be a sprint to lap 49. So after the caution and stuff, they'll probably make a restart around lap 18 because with the new iRacing quick caution for super speedways, they only go about 2 laps. So it'll be about a 30-lap sprint to the finish.
Yeah, these guys run a little unique profile, if you will. They don't throw yellow at their stage break. They just divvy up the points and they keep racing. So it makes things a little more exciting, a little different. But I'm sure we're going to have at least one yellow. I know last night they were pretty clean in both races that we ran, but ended up having a couple green-white checkers. So hopefully tonight we'll see some nice clean racing. Don't have to worry about those green-white checkers, but we all know that they're most exciting things that happen in racing.
Yeah, when you put these drivers back against the wall and put them against the clock to try and finish a race, there are going to be some big moves made and some big swings taken. So hopefully we'll get a good finish tonight and everyone will finish clean.
Yeah, I made the joke last night that Joe Wright tends to see lap 20 or about 20 to 25 to go being go time, sometimes 30, and being a 49 lap race. This is almost going to be go time for him right from the drop of the green.
Yeah, depending on where he's going to start, he may send it from the very beginning and start that outside line early.
But right now on pole, right here in front of us, Nicholas Ford up to the top of the board with a 52.28.
Great lap there. He was extremely smooth through the entire lap. I was observing him as he come to the green. Not very much movement out of that truck. He was able to hold the yellow line great through 1 and 2, and got a great run down the backstretch that brought him around for that awesome lap that he turned.
Yeah, and that's the important thing, is being able to be smooth. A lot of people, they think you just hold the bottom of the lane, just hold it on the white yellow line all the way around. But me personally, and I know Joe does the same thing, is we like to drift it up on the straightaway to get that run down the hill into the corner. And if you can be smooth and not really turn the wheel, you'll gain a lot of speed here. As we see Greg Froelich coming across the line here. And he's going to be fifth here on the board with a 52.33.
Yeah, Josh, as well as I do, when it comes to qualifying here, you don't want very much wheel movement if you're moving the wheel a lot, you're scrubbing speed. And when you're alone by yourself, there's no way to make that back up just out of raw power. So you really have to take your time and, like you said, be as smooth as possible. Uh, Hold your breath and hope for the best.
Yeah, especially with these guys running fixed setups, they really don't have the opportunity to add more tape or make a change in air pressure or even wedge. So it makes it so everybody's kind of on an even playing field. It really brings out the drivers and puts it all in the driver's hands as opposed to who can make the best setup. So we see Derek Chaput making his way onto track to start his qualifying lap. I don't know if he'll be
Yeah,
able to get his 2 laps in because we only have about a minute left in qualifying.
it'll be extremely close. He'll be able to take the green for the first lap, but I don't know if he'll be able to make it back around for that finish of that lap. But man, what a pretty truck there with that yellow and black. He's definitely going to stand out tonight.
You'll see a lot of vehicles that are going to stand out on track tonight, I'm sure. I know Jacob Bowen has that neon ride, that blue and pink, so he really stands out in the pack. And Joseph Wright with the Intensity Broadcasting truck, that one usually stands out pretty well. Isaiah Gill
Yeah,
always drives a blue truck, so he'll this tealish blue truck, so I'm sure he'll be easy to find. TJ Floyd with the bright green truck, so yeah, you got a bunch of bright colors in here, and makes it easy to recognize certain vehicles on track.
oh yeah, and Eddie Morris, he's running that bright purple and pink truck tonight. So, like you said, plenty of eye catchers to be able to look back through the field and keep an eye on your favorite driver.
As it looks like we're going to be going gridding here in just a moment. Apparently, I was having some audio issues again, and hopefully that fixes it right there. As we're going to go through the grid. Starting on pole tonight, Nicholas Ford with the 52-281 and Michael White on the outside. In second row, Chris Wheeler in the 22 machine and Haley Deegan in the 36.
Yeah, I'm picking up row 3 here. You have Max McClure starting P5, Gregory Froelich in the outside of him. Then we'll roll back to Jimmy McFarland in 7th and Devin Bacino in 8th.
In ninth, Dylan Redding in the 11 machine. And outside of him, Dustin Dean, our Cup Series champion from last year. In 11th, Joseph Wright in the Intensity Broadcasting machine. And rolling out on the outside of row 6 is Kerry Moore.
Yeah, picking up here with row 7, we got Logan Hagerman on his outside. Will Witt there in the 14th position. Then we'll pick up Randy Fuchs in 15th, Isaiah Gill in 16th.
1 second, I'm having some issues here with the gridding. Let me see if I can apologize for that, everybody. Let me see if I can get this fixed up on my side here. So where were we? I apologize. We were at...
We're up to P17 with Sylvan Seguin and then Austin Blaylock in 18th. Then you have Michael Provault and Brandon White rounds out your top 20.
Perfect. Stoney Benfield in the 75 machine is going to roll off in 21st, and I'm sorry, 22nd. I got this all messed up, and I apologize. As cars are rolling out, it's messing up my grid on my screen here. We have Dustin Buck in the 23rd position. Blake Hensley going to be rolling off in 24th.
Yeah, then we pick up James Moore here in 25th. Matt Knight's in 26th. Brian Nudie starting back there in 27th. He's going to be next to Brian Merle Jr. in 28th. Colton Kinsey picking up 29th. And Mike Rentz routing out your top 30.
You can just continue with it because it's easier for you to see it.
Yeah. Will Cloud, 31st. Eddie Moore is starting there in 32nd. DJ Floyd going to be in 33rd. Got Bailey Jones starting to his outside. Michael Lawrence in 35th. And CD Moore, 36th.
37 is going to be Alan Warkle. And the Dean Qualley going to be 38th.
Yep, that is what it appears to be. Is the pace cars ducking off pit road now? These guys are going to bring them to green. The green flag is out, and the 20 gets a good jump off the beginning here. Looks like he's pretty even with outside with Michael White. No help from behind, though, with Chris Wheeler. He's off about a truck now as Haley Deegan's attempted to push Michael around the outside of Nicholas Ford.
Yeah, and already a lot of movement towards the back of the field as they're starting to spread out as they go through the triangle. But right now, it looks like there's really no help for Michael Ford right now. Neither Michael White as well, as both of those are looking for some help. It looks like they're going to get some right here. One car down in the apron. Looks like they're going to be falling back.
Yes, these guys are bunched up going down through here. You see them weaving back and forth. That's what that dirty air that we talked about. These trucks have a lot of moving around, that you'll see going in the straight line. You would think it'd be easy to hold them straight, but that air really upsets those trucks when you're behind someone.
As we're coming across the stripe to finish lap 1, who's going to lead it here? Looks like Nicholas Ford's going to have it just by a nose. Looks like Haley Deegan got just a little bit loose coming through the trioval there. She was able to hold on to it, but she had to fall off the back of the 09, so he's going to fall back quite a bit as they're trying to get hooked back up here to get that outside energy coming again.
Yeah, that outside line's really struggling right now with only 3 trucks out there. If they get formed up, they could hang with this inside line. But you look there, you only have 3 trucks compared to 6 that are lined up on the inside line. So they're really going to bring that power to push them as the 22 kind of washes up going into 3.
Yeah, big push here from Haley Deegan to that 09. 09's going to take the lead here as they come through 3 and 4. Now she's hung out on the outside, hoping to get a push from the 71 of Gregor Froelich.
Yeah, Michael White there with the power move to get around Nicholas Ford and slide down for the big push from Haley. Now Haley's going to try to generate something there on the outside line as they're weaving and back and forth going up the front stretch.
A word I like to use a lot, and I'm going to continue to use it tonight, is energy. It's all about which line's going to have the energy, what line's going to have that push, who can get lined up. As Haley Deegan makes a move to the outside, and the 22 of Chris Wheeler is going to follow her up there.
Yeah, he's going to follow suit. She went down there and picked him up and said, hey, come on with me. We're going to the front.
Dustin Dean already making up some positions. He's up 3 as he's a 4th car in that high line. He's trying to get to the front here, too.
Ooh, as we see a big move it back there from the 11, it looks like he got into the back of the 19 in the middle of the corner and kind of washed up a little bit, but everyone's clean as they come through. It looks like Haley's going to clear the 09 as we come back around into the trioval here. Got a big push from the 22 of Chris Wheeler.
Yeah, but she's going to stay up there with him. I think she likes that high side a little bit better than the low side, which makes sense as she's going to tuck right down. Oh,
a big wreck. 22 gets caught by the 09. They keep it straight, though. And
oh, there they go.
Piles up in behind them.
That's going to take the yellow out.
They had it gathered up for a minute, but it was hard for those guys behind them to get checked up, and that's the issue. You know as well as I do, when you're running this, you can't be watching just the car in front of you. You need to be watching 5 to 6 cars in front of you.
Yeah, that's going to bring out our first wreckage rewind. And it looks like that one's pretty much going to start right with the 22 of Chris Wheeler here. We get that all dialed up right now.
As you look here, the 22's trying to clear himself down behind Haley to stay hooked up, and it appears that the 09 was just barely there, and he hesitated for a moment and caught him in the left rear, and it caused a stack up behind him.
Yeah, they did a good job almost holding on to it. Good heads-up driving from behind as everybody kind of scattered, got on the binders, slowed down enough. The 09 was able to hold on to it for a moment, but looks like he might have got... Yep, that's what happened. The 22 came back down, tagged him, and you can see a couple cars spinning behind. Jacob Bowen, the 40 of Brian Nudie, getting caught up in that, in the backside of that. The 019 doing a great job slowing down, getting through it. Oh, there goes the 11 there of Dylan Redding getting involved as he goes for a wild ride up into the fence. The 35 of Will Witt involved as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like they would have been able to keep a lot of those trucks straight if it wasn't for catching that apron. That's a big transition from that 31-degree banking onto the flat of the apron. So really upset some of those trucks as they were attempting to get on the brakes and try to try to avoid that wreck.
But that's going to keep our leader, Haley Deegan, up in the front here. That's going to move Greg Froelich and Dustin Dean into second and third.
Yeah, big shakeup in our top 5 here with that wreck. You know, took out a lot of good trucks. These guys are going to come down and use some of their fast repairs early. May come back to bite them a little bit later, or they'll just get those repairs that they need fixed and hope for the best and save that fast repair for later on in the race.
And big movers here, the Cody Moore and the 52 machine. Up to 7th right now, up 29 spots from the start. So big movers here. So it looks like he's checking out. I thought we were at pit lane, but he's actually coming to turn 1, just checking up to catch the field here. So yeah, big movers and shakers, as well as looks like Dean Qualley, also big mover tonight, already up 30 spots.
Yeah, I think Dean did extremely well from what it appeared there to get through that wreck. You know, he was mired back deep in the pack, so he was able to see the smoke early and get checked up quickly and not have many cars behind him to attempt to avoid.
See a couple cars coming off pit lane right now. Looks like they got their repairs and getting ready to go back out. Another pretty big mover here is Will Cloud, the 48, up 18 spots. Michael Lawrence up 18 spots. So a lot of these drivers with some big moves forward. Unfortunately, a couple drivers with some big moves the other way as well.
Yeah, some of those moves definitely come from the expense of others in that accident that we saw there. But I don't think that's the last big wreck that we'll see tonight. We should be coming here to get one to go and stack these guys up again for some more close racing.
And you can see on the bottom of the screen, we have our pit stops. Who's on pit road right now? It's the first 3 initials of their last name. And I got the track map up there so you can see your favorite driver's number, see where they're at in relation to the leaders here as they're coming across the start-finish line.
As you see the lights on the pace car go off, and they're going to stack them up 2 by 2 and get ready back to green flag racing and see if these guys will be able to keep it straight for another 40 laps.
Just got a message across Facebook from Garrett Kinder. Is that never more beautiful Zach Wilson I hear? What? That is exactly who you hear right there.
Yeah, Garrett's a good buddy that we run some other leagues and stuff with. He's one of the guys that you'll see here on Sunday nights for the Original Rebels Racing League for their Thin Blue Line USA truck league that they have going on Sunday nights.
And that's a
So
brand
if
new.
you enjoy,
That's a brand new sponsor you guys brought on this just recently, right?
yeah, that's I don't know if I was able to release the news quite yet, but spoiler tonight. I guess I let the chicken out of the cage on that one, you know. But yeah, we have a new sponsor jumped on board for our Sunday night that's going to sponsor that league. We can't thank them enough for coming on board and a great product that they show up on Sunday night.
Yeah, you guys put on a great show. That's something I look forward to. In fact, a lot of people don't know I've been sick with COVID for the last 3.5 weeks. And one thing I have totally missed was being here on Sunday nights for you guys' race. So I was glad to be back this past Sunday and look forward to the rest of the season. As the pace car is pulling off, Haley Deegan leads them back to the line. 71 playing low games, laying back just a little bit. The green flag's in the air.
Laying back,
yeah, that
almost
whole
truck there.
Yeah, as the green flag's back in the air, Dustin Dean with a great push on Haley Deegan, pushing her back out to the front, and he taking over that second spot. No help on that outside for the 71 of Greg Froelich, though.
Yeah, it looks like the 71 may just benefit from sliding down on the low line until it forms up, but looks like the 20 of Nicholas Ford's going to fight back on the inside and close that hole.
And see Joseph Wright already making some power moves. Just saw him go from the high side to the low side to the high side and now back to the low side. He's that 4th truck in line on the bottom, and he's probably going to slide up behind that 20 truck. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to, but nope, here comes the 71 Greg Froelich. Back with a little energy.
A big push on that inside line there, and then they just kind of stalled out. Didn't appear that the trucks in front of them were really going to move very much. As you see the 82, he's peaking high. Is he going to take it? Yeah, he slides up there in front of the 20 of Ford.
Yeah, Joseph Wright loves that high line, and you'll see him up there almost any time. If we're at Talladega, you'll see him up on that third line as Dustin Dean now jumps up in front of Joseph Wright, trying to take that energy away and push himself to the lead here.
Yeah, Joe with a big push there to Dustin Dean in the middle of 1 and 2 is able to get him out front of Haley as they slide down and clear him.
They both cleared him, so that shows a power move there, and they're pulling away as they enter turns 3 and 4 here.
Some great racing we have going on up front here. You see how quickly that lead can swap and change with one hard push as we see Haley's getting up underneath the 82. See these trucks jockeying for position here, sliding all around the track in that dirty air. Really hard to keep them straight, but they're able to keep them straight, tucked in tight as Haley's continuing to push Dustin Dean out ahead of the 82 of Joe Wright.
You want to see how much these trucks move around? Oh, I thought I had a roof cam, but I guess I don't have the roof cam set up on these cars. So we'll just jump right into the cockpit here, and we're riding along right now. As you hear Logan Hagerman having to lift a little bit. And you can see the back of that truck of McClure really moving around as he catches the apron just a little bit. A lot of lifting on that bottom line right now.
As we see a fight for the lead again, Haley Deegan slid up in front of Joe Wright. Looks like she might clear Dustin Dean. She did lead that lap.
Oh, she
she's
gets
sideways
turned.
and going inside the inside wall. Hard wreck for Haley Deegan. No cautions out though.
No.
We're going to stay green. Everybody's still rolling. Haley's off pace. They're trying to get turned back around. Hopefully he'll get that Ford iRacing machine back to pit road and get her faster pair and get back out here.
Back at the front, we have Dustin Dean getting a big push from the 68 of Devin. I'm going to butcher this. I apologize. Bucciano.
Devin's been glued to that rear bumper for the last lap or so. Really pushing him hard. That's going to make those engine temps and water temps rise, so he's going to have to back off eventually as we see the 19 of Max McClure getting a run here.
And also up in the mix there, you see the 48 of Will Cloud Jr. Another big mover here, up 27 spots, so he's trying to make something happen here. As you see Deegan now just hitting pit road. So unfortunately for her, she's going to lose a lap at least. So we're coming up on some lap traffic here. The 95 getting lapped here. He's going to stay to the high side and let everybody on by.
Yeah, I think you need to really watch this outside line here as they're starting to begin to get formed up and make a run at that front as soon as they're able to clear this lap traffic. You know, these guys will get stuck nose to tail and they'll make that big charge back to the front.
And if you look on the track map, you can see there's actually 3 distinct packs out there. You've got this lead pack. You've got a pack of about 3 or 4 cars being led by the 8 of Eddie Morris. And then you've got a third pack being led by the 2 of Isaiah Gill.
As you see the 19's out of shape down below the yellow line there. He's able to get it gathered back up, but that allowed the 82 and the 68 to get clear out in front of them.
And there goes big run, big push here from Joe too. They're able to pull out a little bit. And I think that's going to hurt them getting that far out. If some of these guys, like here comes Dustin Dean with a huge run, he's going to go the outside here.
Yeah, notice there, looks like Dustin Dean's got a little bit of front end damage there at the center of that Toyota Tundra truck. I don't believe it's hurting him right now as he's being pushed, but I don't know if that would allow him to suck up as well and be a good pusher.
Well, it definitely make him a better pusher than a leader, having that little bit of damages. These guys are coming up on Brian Nudie and a few other lap cars right here.
As everyone makes it by that lap truck smoothly. It looks like the 19, those lost a lot of momentum. There's the door open for the 82, and the 82's getting a big push from Dustin Dean. Should be able to get a good run to the start-finish line here. They might both clear him as the 20 slides in behind him with Nicholas Ford giving a big push. Dean's able to clear low.
Well, 3 wide there for a second, a little bit further back in this pack. 3 wide now. As Nicholas Ford goes to the high side, but he's got no help up there.
Yeah, looks
and
like
he's just going to get filed all the way to the back of this pack, I believe.
he's going to get shuffled unless he can find a hole here and make the side draft work to where he can draw a truck back. If not, he's going to slide all the way to the back and probably lose 15 positions.
As you can see him on this high side here. Just no help, just sliding backwards. Oh, it looks like he's going to tuck in now. But yeah, he lost a ton of positions because of that. Luckily, they were 2 wide that time coming by the lap traffic as Dustin Dean up to the lead now.
Yeah, Dean's really put the power moves on here whenever he's followed, and it's made the smart decision and be able to get that truck back out front in clean air.
Just saw a little bit of contact there between the 48 and the 71 as they were coming through the corner. And oh, the 45 having to go down to the apron for a second.
Yes, that outside line's discombobulated again. You know, they're trying to get joined back up and get a big push. So you're going to see a big run from the 20 back here. He's lagged off about 3 cars, and he's going to get a big push as they come down into turn 1. That's really going to bring that energy to the outside line and could probably push Joe Wright ahead of Dustin Dean.
Yeah, and Dustin Dean did lead lap 15, so he's going to be our stage winner. So now it's going to come down to, I think, fuel mileage from here on out, because I know they're not going to be able to make it to the end on the fuel that they have.
Yeah, and if you're some of these guys who've been running extremely hard up front, you know, you're going to be short by at least 5 to 8 laps. You know, some of these guys who've been running mid-pack or race, they're not having to run full throttle. They're allowing that draft and the truck behind them to push them. So, you know, they're able to save a lot more fuel than these guys who are having to run wide open up front.
And not just that, but guys like Joe Wright, who've been primarily running that high lane, him, Nicholas Ford, the 71 there, they've been running that high lane almost the entire race, and taking that longer way around is going to burn more fuel as well.
Yeah, no doubt. So getting on the pit road safely under green flag conditions and with your group is going to be extremely difficult here. You know, you got to get that truck woed down to 60 miles an hour, I believe is the pit road speed here, you know, from the 190 that they're running right now as they split a lap car coming down the backstretch there.
Scary moment right there as I had to split that lap car. But no harm, no foul. Looks like everybody got through there pretty cleanly. But it definitely broke up the momentum of that high side. As we see Dustin Dean and Devin Buccino definitely being able to pull away in that 68 machine.
Yeah, that was extremely impressive that everyone made it through there cleanly. You know as well as I do that that happens fast, and relaying that information from the front to the back doesn't always go well.
Now,
Devin Buccino has been a heck of a pusher tonight for Dustin Dean. They've cleared these guys behind him by almost 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, as another lap car stays low here, letting the leaders on by. And, you know, as a driver, I'm the kind of person, I don't care whether the lap cars stay high or low, as long as they hold their position and let you know where they're going to be.
Yeah, your biggest worry is that, you know, they say they're going to be low and then they move. You know, that's I'm on the same page with you as that. You know, you just want them to hold their line. We'll make the adjustments we need to get around them.
As now TJ Floyd in the 61 of James Moore are going to be going a lap down here. Actually, James is going to be going multiple laps down. I was at 68, almost just hooked Dustin there. He had to lift hard because he was actually almost underneath him, and it looked like he was going to turn him.
Yeah, Devin tried to fit a 4-foot truck in a 2-foot hole there.
But we're still green, and no harm, no foul again as we're coming to lap 20 here.
Yeah, as we get closer to halfway, you'll see some of these guys bunch up with their dancing partners, as I like to call them, and find the guys who they're comfortable working with and slowly work their way to the front, especially some of these guys who have been running in the back of the pack the entire race.
So you see one car on pit road right now. Looks like Derek Chaput. Brian Nudie staying to the low side here, letting the leaders go on by. Very cordial of him, staying to the bottom. Now, you don't happen to have the driver's chat on your side, do you?
I do, and I'm currently listening to it. They're talking about some pit strategy right now of when they're going to try to pit. Looks like they may try to split the race in half as we see the 21 peeling off now. Dustin Dean coming to pit road.
Oh, we got a spin wreck coming onto pit road here. Big
Big wreck.
wreck. As I switch to that camera view in just the right time as the yellow flag is out.
And that's one of the dangers that you have with miscommunications of when folks are going to try to pit, and it's extremely dangerous to just pull out without no one knowing that you're going to pit road.
That's going to bring up our wreckage replay here. See if we can figure out who was all involved in that, because that seemed like a pretty big one right there. Now I saw Dustin Dean getting on the pit road safely. Just give me a second while I dial this one up. That looked like it happened just a little bit behind the leaders here. Normally I have a little button here where I can see who was involved in what. But for some reason it's not popping up on my screen, so I do apologize. Just bear with me just a moment more while I try to get this all sorted out on my side.
Yeah, as this caution is really going to play into the hand of those guys who didn't go to pit road there. You know, they're able to go into pit road safely and not lose many positions on track.
That's for sure. It's also going to benefit a few of the people who were stuck a lap down, going to be able to get some laps back, and people like Haley Deegan who got caught up in that wreck too, maybe being able to get some damage fixed.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Haley took her vehicle to the hauler. I think she may be done for the night.
10-4. So I am just not able to see who was involved in that one.
So from what I'm hearing from race control is that it was initiated by the number 20. Looks like he may have tried to pit from the high side there. I'm not really sure if you want to take a look at that area.
Absolutely. Let me see if I can get to that here. All right, found it. Sorry about the length of that wreckage report. We can see right here the 20 car actually gets kind of caught 4 wide and bounces around a little bit into the 71. The 70.
I'm not really sure if Michael Ford was thinking about pitting there, and then he had a big checkup in front of him from those other trucks pitting. Maybe a little bit of net code involved in that as well.
Yeah, that's gonna. And the 31 gets spun around as well. 71 gets turned on the pit lane. So that's going to shake things up quite a bit here. As Devin Puccino is still our leader up at the front here. Let's see if we can see.
You know, have to see how everything shakes out with timing and scoring here once they get everyone lined back up. It normally runs into some issues, unfortunately, with iRacing when a caution comes out under green flag pit stops. So these guys should be able to make it all the way to the end from here. I don't know how comfortably they would be for a green-white checker. It would be extremely close, but should make for some exciting racing as well as some strategy involved.
And it looks like our leaders, a couple people have stayed out. I see Dustin Dean. He's out there. He's being shown as our leader right now. And he made his pit stop, but it looks like now it's starting to file through and show who's been on pit road and who hasn't. So
So it looks like the lights on the pace car are off now. May have one to go here. So these guys are trying to still get the lineup straightened out. So it looks like Dustin Dean still has the lead even after pitting there under the green. He was able to get onto pit road cleanly, all the wreck happened behind it, but he has a good amount of damage on his rear bumper there and a little bit of left front damage as well. So we'll see how that benefits him or hurts him for tonight.
as we can see, just that little bit of damage, as you were saying, on the Dustin Dean machine.
A lot of these trucks up front here have a little bit of damage. You look at the 21 has some damage, 99 as well. I believe the 4 has a good amount of damage too, but the 68, he's clean. The 019's clean, as well as the 82 of Joe Wright up there. He's clean as well.
As the pace car will be ducking off this time by. Oh, lights are back out on the pace car. So it looks like they're going to extend the caution one more lap just to get things sorted out, because I believe there's a couple cars that just are not in the right position. Or, well, looks like we do have everybody kind of bunched up here. So lights are off again, so we're going to re-rack it and try it again.
So Josh, you run a lot of super speedways. You know, coming down with about 20 or so to go here, what position would you want to be in right now? Would you want to be in Dean's position where you're sitting up front, or would you want to be somewhere towards the back of the pack, still kind of testing the waters, waiting for the patience to run out and the big wreck to happen?
Honestly, I want to be right where Joe Wright's at right now, up in that fifth, sixth, seventh spot. It's kind of where I want to be. That way, the leader in the second place truck usually always end up being sitting ducks. You know, unless they get hooked up right away and they can start to pull away a little bit or have the energy to be able to block, they're just going to be sitting ducks for anybody who's running third, fourth, fifth on back. So I think a spot like Joseph Wright being on the outside there, in the looks like he's in the fifth spot right now. He's in a good spot. Actually, looks like sixth spot. Excuse me. So I think he's in a good spot. The 4 truck in a good spot as well. So I like to be in that third, fourth, fifth row back. And I know it sounds silly, but you can just get the runs and the momentum, and you can see what those guys in front of you are going to do as well.
Yeah, and you know, Daytona's not as wide a track as Talladega is, so it's really hard to make that third line come in. It is possible, but you have to have a lot of trust in those that you're running around with. As we see the pace car duck off pit road, and the 21 of Dustin Dean gets a great jump. It looks like the 68 got a little bit loose because he's getting a hard push from behind from the 99.
That's the 99 Austin Blaylock making a move. First time being up in the top 5 tonight. As we see Joe Wright. Oh, the 19 slides up the track a little bit. A little contact there between the 19 and the 019 and the 99. Joe Wright had a front row seat for that, though.
Yeah, it looks like Joe and them, they got the outside line hooked up together. You know, they're really going to be able to push themselves around Dustin Dean, though, 19. I wonder if that damage from Dean is hurting him a little bit.
So you're right along with Joseph right here, and you can see already these trucks are starting to move around. Joe makes the power move down to the bottom. He doesn't like what he sees on that high line. He's trying to get himself up to the front here. Would you have just 23 laps to go? Is there trying to make it 3 wide up at the front?
Yeah, Dustin Dean throwing some big blocks there up off of 4 to try to stall that outside's momentum there, that energy. But it looks like the 68 of Devin Bacino is going to be able to clear the 21 as they go into turns 1 and 2. I don't know if he's going to be able to slide down, though, as they're fighting back on the inside.
So we see the 11 there of Dylan
Yeah,
Redding, I apologize. His name was on the tip of my tongue. Dylan Redding back up towards the front here after he took that wild ride in our first caution.
yeah, he definitely used his faster pair after taking his moon ride today, and he's back up there fighting for a sixth place position as we speak.
Yeah, because he
Good
was
push
up
on
in
the
the fence
outside.
at one point. Yeah, and here comes the 68 and the 99. Big slide job down in front of Dustin Dean. He's trying to think about going to that high side, but just didn't have the room to make the move up there. As here comes Dylan Redding on that high side with a big push here from the 7 of Logan Hagerman.
Yeah, I don't think Joe Wright was liking what he's seeing. He's dropped out of this lead pack here and is falling back to about 10th or so. He's in the ninth place position right now, kind of watching and seeing what's going to happen with these guys up front as they get a little bit dicier here with coming to 20 to go.
Yeah, he might have saw something happen up there, didn't see what he liked, or he just didn't have a dancing partner to work with him up there. As we see Max McClure now doing a little bit of side drafting on the 019 of Brandon White as they come through the corner and down the short shoot to this to the tri-oval here.
As we see that 17 of Dean Qualley starting to work his way up through the field. You know, he's there on the outside. He's the last truck on the outside in this lead pack. We haven't talked about him much tonight, but he's making some moves to work his way up through the field right now.
For sure he is, and he saw the energy on that high side coming. Dustin Dean saw it. He jumps up to the high side, hoping to get a big push from Dylan Redding as they come down the backstretch. 3 wide.
3 wide in the back there.
That's Joseph Wright up on the high side. Wouldn't expect anything less from him as he's trying to make things happen back here. Looks like he fall back in behind Dean Qualley.
As they try to clear the lap traffic here of the 09. Looks like everybody's going to be able to make it smoothly as they caught him in a good area.
We're just under 20 laps to go here as that high line's starting to get that energy and that momentum as we see Dustin
Caution
Dean.
out.
Oh, caution is out.
I'm not sure where that wreck happened. I think it may have happened on the tail end of the lead lap here, possibly with that lap car as they exited out of the tri-oval.
As that's going to bring up the records replay. And fortunately, my screen actually pulled this one up. So let's see if we can find out exactly what happened here.
And we're under our third caution for the night. You know, this has been some pretty clean racing for the most part. I'm really proud of how these guys are showing some patience, but they're able to be decisive and put on some good racing right now for us.
So it looks like this one actually has a little bit to do with this lap vehicle here, as the 09 was not really up against the wall. He was just kind of down a little bit. And looks like the 45 kind of just got spooked a little bit. Turned a little bit left down into the, excuse me, not the 45, the 00 there got a little spooked, turns down into the 75, sends him right into the wall. The 01 gets up on his side. See Jacob Bowen making great evasive action there, getting down to the apron.
Split, everyone done a good job there for the most part of clearing these trucks and missing the majority of that wreck that could have been a whole lot worse than what we saw.
Yeah, that 75 taking a wild ride. So the question now is, does anybody come in and pit?
I think you come in and top off on fuel just so you know you have enough for those green white checkers if they come. Right now, I feel like they're going to be extremely close on making this to the end. Even if we do have a green white checker, you're going to be sputtering, I believe, coming to the checker flag.
So as these guys come by the entrance of pit road here, let's see if anybody does duck down. Looks like most of the leaders coming down pit road right now.
Yeah, I think this is the call right now. This is a great strategy call. You know, always know that you have enough fuel, and then you don't have to worry. You run as hard as you need to run instead of having to conserve and hopefully win on fuel mileage.
Pink car making the decision at the last second. He catching the grass a little bit, getting on the pit road. But, yeah, you're right. Just everybody coming down the pit road right now, trying to make that final pit stop. As we see the race off pit road here. It looks like Looks like Austin Blaylock is going to assume the lead. He didn't come down in pit. Neither did the 72 of Alan Warnick. Also did not come down in pit.
Yeah, Warnecki and them. I believe Warnecki doesn't have any damage. That's a clean-looking truck right now. The 99 has a good bit of rear damage, so be interesting to see how well he's going to be able to fend on his own up front here.
Greg Fronick also. Don't believe he came in pit.
I think these guys are hoping for some more caution laps, so they can save some more fuel here towards the end and make it all the way. If you're the folks like Dustin Dean and in the 68, you've got plenty of fuel. You can make the moves that you need to make and run wide open the entire time.
Yeah, so it looks like our top 5 did not come in pit that time. Let me see if I can confirm that with my pit strategy here. And those guys, some of those guys were running more towards the back of the field anyway, so they were able to save a little bit of fuel as they were coming across the, having to lift and not really having to run as hard as some of the other cars.
Yeah, that draft comes into effect when you're back there in the back and you only have to run half throttle or so. You're not feeding all that fuel into the carburetor to make that truck really work hard. So you're using the air around you, the truck behind you, and everything like that to keep up. And you can save a good amount of fuel by doing that.
Yep, so you can see on the pit strategy here, the top 5 did not come in pit, but 6th on back did. So that's going to be a little bit of an interesting call here as they come to the end of the race.
Yeah, lights off on the pace car. We'll take green here with about 15 laps to go. You're going to see these tempers and the patience in these drivers start to wear here. Now's the time when you got to make your move to position yourself for the end of the race. So some of these guys who have been in the back majority of the race, they're going to start charging forward. Maybe we'll see that very top line come in and then run some 3 wide racing here.
Yeah, we have 22 vehicles on the lead lap right now. So we'll have to see if there's another caution, who stays out, tries to get a wave around to get back on the lead lap as well. Looks like,
and with super speedway racing, any one of these 22 drivers have an opportunity to win this race.
That's for sure. As Bailey Jones right now is the car that's 1 lap down. She is in the lucky dog spot right now. So she's hoping for a yellow here as the pace car ducks off. Green flag back in the air. Austin Blaylock fires off great here. Gets a pretty good jump, but the 72 stays right there with him, but this 99 has no help as opposed to the 72 with the 71 right behind him.
Yeah, Warnecki got a great jump there on the restart. He was almost even with the 99 when they crossed the line, and he had a good push coming from the 71 of Fronick. So maybe those guys can get that outside line churning as you see the 72 sliding down in front of the 99.
Yeah, Warnecki getting that slide right down to the 99. Here comes the 45, kind of pushing on 99, and you can't really push the pusher. That's one thing that a lot of people make the mistake of. They see that those 2 cars, they third in line, he just wants to push. That's not going to work out for him. So you see him just kind of fall back a little bit, pushes up the track a little bit too.
Washed up nearly 2 lanes there, though. 19, I'm sure he got scared seeing that coming up at him as they come off of 4 and back to the start-finish lines. We see him almost going 3 wide here. If you're Dean, you're kind of sitting back and watching this party and hoping that they don't crash here in front of you.
I was going to say, the only person who didn't lift in that situation was Dustin Dean. He stayed floored all the way through there. A big wiggle out of the 68 too. And that's something you see. Sometimes you start pushing the vehicle in front of you, the truck in front of you, and because the air just isn't coming to your spoiler, you can actually get loose being the pusher. As you see the 68 now jumping down to the bottom line, leaving the 71.
Contact there between the 45 and the 71. Looked like the 71 tried a hard side draft there, and the 45 got into him as you see him hit the apron and wash back up the track again.
Oh, more side draft contact, and that's going to check the whole field up back here. Oh, big wreck. Dustin Dean involved.
Looks like that's going to collect about 15 cars there. Hopefully some of those guys still have some fast repairs in their pockets and be able to jump back out and not lose a lap, get back on this league group of trucks.
We kind of saw that one starting up there.
Yeah, that one looked like it probably started initially from the checkup from the 45 and 71 getting together off of 4.
As we take a look here and see what happened, I see the 66 gets a big run. We see the 3 wide. And that forces that 66 truck down to the apron. Looks like Dustin Dean just makes a hard left turn, gets into the side of the 66. 66 just, Sylvan Seguin tries to stay down there. Dustin Dean just loses control, comes right back across into the 66. And that's going to send him back across the track in front of everybody. Dylan Redding involved. We know he doesn't have a reset anymore because he used one earlier. So he's back up on his roof.
Yeah, I'm curious if Dustin didn't have that wheel cranked really hard to the left trying to make that move to stay off the wall, and the truck that he thought was on his outside that caused it to kind of break loose and force him down into the truck on the inside.
Joseph Wright involved as well, sliding through the grass, just nowheres to go. Actually, he's going to be a great view. We're going to ride along with that 82 truck. See if we can get a good view of what he saw here. You see the track just close up, nowheres to go. Now he gets a little hit from behind, a little contact from the side, and yeah, just nowheres to go for him.
Yeah, at that point, you're just kind of victim of circumstance and holding on for the ride. You know, he had it wound up the best that he could, and the hole just closed on him.
So I'm not sure if he had still has a reset in the bag or not. See these trucks coming on the pit road right now. So he decided to stay out there at the last second. It looks like Nick Ford. Let's take a look, see if he had... Yep, he's got a brand new truck. Looks like Dustin Dean's getting a brand new truck. We know the 11 doesn't have a new truck, so unfortunate for him.
Yeah, some of these guys who say that fast repair, that's really going to save them, you know, keep them on the lead lap and everything.
Yeah, and that apron can be treacherous. I know you normally when you hear me and Joe calling these races, you always hear Joe make a comment about me getting down on the apron, which used to be a problem for me. I used to have an issue touching that apron and spinning out quite a bit in my early years on iRacing. And it's easy to do. Sometimes you just can't see the apron. You can't see the yellow line from the truck in front of you or the car in front of you because you just can't see it. Or they make a little move down there and you kind of follow them down just a little bit. Then you hit the apron and you're done.
Yeah, when you're pushing in these trucks and even like the Cup cars, they have that extremely large spoiler on the back. When you're tucked in, even behind a person, you cannot see in front of you. You're just really playing follow the leader and hoping that they're hitting their marks. And like you said, if they for some reason get a little bit too low and clip the apron, you're just following right along with them, kind of with follow the leader, and it can end up in disaster.
I remember years ago, I don't know if you remember this or not. I know you said you've been on the service about 6 years. So yeah, this is probably a little bit before you. When iRacing had the COT with the big wing on the back of it. And we used to be able to run Talladega with no issues. And then they made that change to the spoiler. And when they went to the spoiler, they used the numbers that NASCAR had given them. And all of a sudden, that bump in the middle of the trial at Talladega became so prominent. And you almost just lost control as you were coming through there. And it took a while for us to realize, oh, they took a bunch of downforce away from the car. So it's causing the car to get really light as it goes over that bump. And even now, if you don't have your car set up just right or you're not expecting it, at Talladega on that bottom line in the Trialville, you can hit that bump and it just upsets your car completely.
Yeah, that drainage there is makes for some interesting, especially like you said, when you're running that bottom trying to get back to the start finish line there, it can upset the car extremely easy. And if you've got someone who's pushing you through there, it makes for a exciting and somewhat dangerous situation.
And that was one thing I used to love, was being able to set up a car almost for that. So as you went through the tri-oval as the leader, you'd go through the tri-oval and you'd look behind you and there'd be cars 3-4 car lengths behind because they're all lifting trying to go through the tri-oval.
It's crazy. You've been on the service a long time, but the advancements they've been able to make as far as aerodynamics are concerned and suspension and things like that. This sim is one of the best sims, in my opinion, in the world. For those of us who can't afford a real race car, love the competition, have a passion for racing, this is the way to get out here, find you a good group of guys, and have fun.
Well, if we get another yellow here, I want to talk about one of the biggest improvements iRacing has made since I got on here. And it's going to sound really silly as the pace car ducks off. Green flag's back in the air. And that 72 fires off pretty well. That 45 does not get going on the high side. Randy Foch just does not have the speed on that restart. That's going to let Alan Warnecki just pull away as we see the 21 Dustin Dean coming off pit road. So he did not have another reset. So he's going to go a lap down right there.
Yeah, I think Randy Futch actually spun the tires, which you don't hear that very often with how the power band is for these super speedway trucks, with how they're geared. It's very difficult to spin the tires, but I think with those old tires, he spun them.
Or you may have started in first gear as we see TJ Floyd jump up to that high side in front of the 7 of Logan Hargeman and try to make something happen. Logan jumps back down to the bottom, though, leaves TJ out there, and I'm sure we're going to see that 82 machine swirl into the picture on the high side in just a moment. As he's hooked up, I was going to say, he's hooked up with his teammate Eddie Morris now, so I imagine those two Intensity Broadcasting trucks are going to make their way up to the front here pretty soon.
Yeah, I was about to make that same comment. He's going to hook up with him and prepare for these last 10 or so laps that we have left. Looks like these guys are kind of just going to try to settle in and try to make it to the end here and make a big move with just a few laps to go. As we see these front 4 kind of separating themselves from the rest of the field.
Yeah, as we have 7.5 laps to go now as they come rocking in down the backstretch. And you're right, we see 2 distinct packs right here, which is not a good thing for this front pack, having that backpack behind them, because they can get lined up. They've got a sniff of the draft, and they're going to be able to pull right up on these guys, and they might even go right around them like they're sitting ducks.
Yeah, if I was those guys, those 8 cars that are sitting back from behind these top 4, I would get the big run on them, and as soon as I got to them, I'm hanging it to the right. We're going around on the outside.
Yeah, because it's go time right now as we've got 7 laps to go here. A little bit of an awkward push there from 68. Kind of got to the inside corner of that 72. Had to back out of it just a little bit, so that's going to break up the line a little bit. And you can already see that 45 back in the picture now of Andy Foch as he's making that move. And look at the high side. We see Eddie Morris and Joseph Wright back there getting hooked up. Here comes the 68 around Alan Warnecki.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to mention back there in 9th and 10th, Eddie and Joe hooking up and getting ready to roll to the front.
You see TJ Floyd kind of going front side to side. Oh, little contact
between the 45 and the 72.
Oh, they're going to spin. Oh, big wreck.
Did the 82 make it through clean? We see
did.
Eddie Morris coming down through the grass.
Looks like the 82 did get through there clean. Oh, no, he did not. He's smoking bad. Oh, that's a shame. That's going to bring up our wreckage replay here. And we're going to focus here on Logan Hagerman because it looks like he was the one that was the most in the middle of this. Whoops. I hit the wrong button. Is the 45 getting oh, he got caught up in that twice. But here's the 7 here, so let's see if we can focus on him as he's kind of the meat in the sandwich here between Austin Blaylock and the 72. And they just get together, turn the 45 right around in front of everybody. And yeah, here comes the field right behind. You see TJ Floyd there having to go through the grass.
Yeah, that's just going to leave just a handful of cars left that's able to be a contender in this race.
see, again, we're going to have to ride on board here with Joe Wright. Let's see if we can see exactly what he saw here. As it happens so fast, he sees the smoke. He goes to check up, and yeah, that 45 bouncing off the wall right there, just enough to, looks like, knock the oil line off that thing and cause the engine to start smoking.
Yeah, that was a hard hit there to the right front. You know, there's a lot of components there that are vital to that truck's health and the ability to finish this race. So I don't think he'll be able to finish tonight.
We're going to ride her along with the 45 here. Let's see if we can see what he saw. As he just gets turned, he didn't even know what happened. By the time he was aware of what happened, he was already facing the wall. So tough luck for him, unfortunately. As our leader, Devin Buccino, and he's been up at the front for quite a while, making some moves and staying up there.
He's been in the top 5 a lot. Watched him push a couple different trucks to the lead. You know, he has been a great pusher all night long. He was behind Dustin Dean there early, got him out front. At one point, I think he pushed Joe out front as well. So I think you definitely keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on the 40, the Cheez-It car there behind him, the 48 of Will Cloud. You know, he's been strong up in the top 10 the last few runs here.
Let's quickly go through our top 10 here. We got Devin Buccino, our leader in the 68 machine. In second, Brandon White, the 019. He's been able to stay up here posting the night as well. He's having a good night, up 18 spots from the beginning. Will Cloud Jr. in the 48 Cheez-It machine, as you were saying, up 28 spots here, starting in that third spot on the restart. Michael Provolt in the 95. We saw him go a lap down earlier in the race. He was able to get his laps back, and now he's sitting in the fourth spot. Mike Renz Jr. in the 44. Up to the fifth spot now. He's 25 spots up. Eddie Morris in the 8. He's up 26 spots. Going to restart in 6th. Austin Blaylock. Saw him get involved in a couple of them earlier. He'll be restarting 7th. Logan Hagerman, who was just involved in that last wreck, got the new truck. It looks like he's all fixed up. He's going to be restarting 8th. Alan Warnecki. His truck looks like it's seen a little better days on that left side, but he's going to be restarting 9th. And Cody Moore in the 52 is going to round out our top 10 as we're getting set for a little 3-lap shootout here. A little green-white checker. 3 laps, so it wouldn't be green-white checker. It'd be green-green-white checker. And hopefully we can make it to the end without having to have an actual green-white checker.
Yeah, these guys the runs are going to be coming even faster and harder. The holes are going to close up quicker, so these guys really have to pay attention here and be on their toes and be ready for it.
Not a lot of cars on the lead lap right now. Only 13 cars on the lead lap. So
yeah, I'm like you right now. I would love to be in Eddie Morris's seat. You know, you've got a clean truck here, you know, and the ability to get to the front. You're sitting in row 3 on the outside, so a lot of big moves to be able to make.
Yeah, you're able to see what's going on in front of you as the green flag is back in the air. Neither truck really gets a good jump here. They're both kind of side by side as they come through the tri-oval. But it looks like that 68 machine is just going to motor ahead as the yellow is back out.
Yeah, I don't think that was because of incident. I think they were having some issues with the lineup back behind them.
Yeah, I think you're right. I see the 31 truck stopped there. So, yeah, I think they just threw the yellow to get everybody relined up here.
That will put this race into overtime. We'll be coming to a green-white checker on this here. We have 13 cars on the lead lap.
Actually, there was an issue.
Yeah, I heard over race comms that the 11 there, he blew up as they were coming to the green.
Yep, that's exactly what happened here, as we can see here. As they were coming to the green, 11 truck with a lot of damage just blows his motor right there. And you see Dustin Dean taking evasive action, as now he's just a sitting duck and has to stop right there in the middle of the field. And yeah, because of the black flag issues and trying to get everybody caught up, that's a smart move to throw the yellow flag there, re-rack them, and do it again.
That gives Bacino another shot at that restart there. It didn't look like he got a very good restart, not like he had been getting. It was smooth, but looked like the 09 team might have spun his tires just a little, but he didn't have much help from behind either.
And the lights on the pace car are still on. Looks like TJ Floyd's going to hit pit road. Brian Nudy's hitting pit road. So a couple of cars in the back hitting pit road. Must have some damage. He's getting some damage fixed up here. Right, that's going to have quite a few cars on pit road. As you can see, the grayed out cars there in the tri-oval. Those are the vehicles that are on pit road. You see the 82, the 40, is that the 49 coming off pit road right now?
Yes, we saw Nick Ford there. He was the lucky dog, going to be able to get his lap back and be on the lead lap for this restart. Unfortunately, he'll be at the end of the longest line behind down and damaged cars.
Yeah, and his truck looks like it's pretty clean. A little bit of no, it looks like it's pretty clean. It's the paint job there. That cow paint job kind of gave me a little looked like there was some damage, but no, I think it's clean. So he'll be able to make some moves here on this restart, I'm sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if he'll have enough time to be able to make it to the front. He might lose that lead draft, but he'll definitely be able to pick up some positions and work his way up, depending on what happens here on this restart.
So here's Devin's information here from Plattsburgh, New York. Not too far from me. I'm in Massachusetts, but it's closer than a lot of these guys are. There's not a whole lot of New England drivers around here anymore.
As we see the lights on the pace car are off, we're going to get ready for this two-lap shootout here.
And while Nicholas Ford may not have time to get to the front right now, if another caution comes out, that gives him another opportunity to re-rack and try again. As you see, Eddie Morris now in that fourth spot, so he gained a couple spots on that last one as well. I think he was just a little bit of a victim of circumstance there in a good way, being able to get around the wreck there.
Yeah, I think Eddie's in the catbird seat here. You know, he'll really be able to, he's got a clean truck to really give a good push to that 019 and possibly get him out in front of Bacino and then set up his move for the end of the race.
Well, we saw the 019 not get a very good start last time. So if you're Eddie Morris and you saw him not have a very good restart last time, do you take the opportunity to take that thing to the wall and try to go around him?
I mean, you do, but do you trust who's behind him to stick with him and go around the 019? Do you think the 7's going to hang with him of Hagerman to be able to give him that push to get him up and around the 019?
You know, I've watched Hagerman tonight. He's a pretty smart driver. He's been pretty smart on the super speedway side, I think. So I think he might be watching Eddie here, see where Eddie goes, and he might follow him right up there.
Yeah, if they complete it, it'd be a great move. But if Eddie doesn't get any help, he'll definitely be hung out to dry. So we'll see here as the pace car is going to make the hard left on the pit road.
And the green flag back in the air. Big jump here by the 68. He's going to get the lead by 3 or 4 car lengths, and that's not a good position for him because now he is the sitting duck out there as everybody's going to be able to draft up on him and go right on by, I think. You see that big...
Yeah, as you see that big block from the 68 there for the 019, pushing him up the track high. Is Eddie's going to be able to pick up the 019 and give him a strong push to the outside.
Now you've got those 3 cars on the high side versus the 4 cars on the bottom, but it looks like those 3 cars on the trucks on the top are definitely hooked up much better than that bottom line.
Yeah, big push coming from Eddie here as they entered into 3 and 4 that should make them even and possibly clear the 019 as they're coming to take the white flag. Maybe they're going to keep it straight behind them. Looks like a little bit of contact, but they're able to keep it straight and going as we take the white flag. We will finish this thing under green.
And Eddie Morris pushing the 019 to the lead. Here comes Eddie, though. Now he's on the high side, getting a big push from that 17. They're going to make it 3 wide, almost 4 wide going into turns 1 and 2.
The 7's trying to poke his nose in there. Unfortunately, Eddie's hung out to dry with no help on the high side as we got the 48 pushing the Bacino. Big wreck behind them.
Oh.
They're going to race this back to the line. Looks like 4 trucks here are going to still be in it back to the line as we see them wrecking down the backstretch.
Yeah, here comes the 48 looking to the high side. He's going to get help from the 019. The 44, a little contact between the 19 and the 44. Side drafted. Oh, they're making contact.
Big wreck. We got Bacino and the 44 coming back around to the start-finish line here. Will the 44 be able to make a run on Bacino as they come to the stripe?
As they come through the triangle, it's going to be Bacino taking the win tonight.
44 of Mike Rentz coming in second place there as they come off 4, and then TJ Floyd going to round out your podium.
Coming from nowheres. He was caught up in a wreck early, and he got lapped a couple times tonight. He ends up coming back and with a podium.
TJ's up 30 positions from his start position in 33rd.
Oh, we see the fireworks on the screen here. But your winner, Devin Bacino, with a great run, just not lifting.
And look at Nick Ford. We talked about him starting at the very back of this field because he got the wave around. And he come out with the top 5 finish.
And if he had another green-white checker, I think he might have even been able to improve on that.
As we see the 68 coming back around here, going to burn it down in the grass.
So here are your results. David Buccino taking the win. Mike Rentz Jr. in that 44 coming in second. TJ Floyd, Austin Blaylock, and Nicholas Ford are going to round out your top 5. Colton Kinsey coming in 6th. Cody Moore 7th. Greg Froelich, Alec Warnecki, and Will Cloud will round out your top 10. As I'm going to leave this up on the screen as we're going to pull in our top 3. Let me see if I can dial up TJ Floyd. TJ, you got Josh and Zach in the booth. You got us?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Man, where did you come from? Most of the race, you kind of were hanging out in the back. I think you got lapped a couple times tonight. End up coming home in 3rd. What was the strategy tonight, and how'd you get back up there?
Thankfully, I did not. I only went a lap down once. I got the lucky dog, like immediately after I went a lap down, and I used my fast repair on lap 5. So I just kind of kept my car together, rode around in the back, let everybody crash each other. I mean, I was like 10 seconds off the pace at one point in time. Just drove it through the grass, missed everybody, and at the end, man, the seas just parted. You know, I don't know how I made it through that wreck and ended up 3rd, but Mike and I on Operators Racing ended up 2-3, so pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that last lap. What did you see from your position, as y'all come to take the white flag and then the wrecks ensued?
I thought we were going to wreck but prior to the white flag, but we got on the backstretch, and it was just like, I don't know if it was 3 wide, if somebody came down, somebody went up, and next thing you know, I'm driving down, and all of a sudden I see 1st and 2nd. I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I didn't even realize Dustin was a lap down, so that kind of hurt me because I could have drafted him and maybe had a shot for 1st or 2nd, but I'll take P3.
Yeah, excellent way to come back from the back there to the front. P3. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Just the team on Operators Racing, Max for putting all the things together, you guys for broadcasting as well, so hopefully we can talk to you some more.
Excellent, man. Well, again, congratulations on that podium finish, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You as well. So the teammate to TJ Floyd, Let's bring in Mike Rentz right now. Mike, you got Zach and Josh in the booth. You got us?
I do.
Man, that was a great run coming down to the finish. The wildness ensuing behind you. Just what was the strategy at the end there? I know you were trying everything you can to get around Devin, but it looks like seas parted at one point for you, and you're able to stay right there with them all.
Yeah, well, just keeping the gas mashed and just trying to see where it ended up.
Yeah, you brung home a second place finish tonight. You know, are you going to roll this momentum into next week at Atlanta? What's your goals for next week?
I hope so. That was terrible in the ARCA race. Got taken out. Finished 30th. So, just trying to get better. First time racing in the league, and just trying to learn the craft a little bit and just get better at it.
Well, it's nice to see teammates coming in 2-3. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight for your second place finish?
Well, I do. TJ and Elliot, teammates. We had pretty good strategy going on all race. A lot of talking in the pit, what to do in the pits. You know, what was going on up front. That definitely helped. And just really just tried to hang out in the back, stay out of trouble, and then try to make something happen at the end, and just kind of got lucky.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on that second place finish. And hopefully we'll talk to you again real soon.
I appreciate it, guys.
And lastly, we're going to pull in our winner here, Devin Bushino. Devin, you got Josh and Zach in the booth. You got us?
All right, I got you. How you doing tonight, guys?
Doing excellent. I see you had a little mic issues there, but we got you loud and clear. Man, the wildness that happened on that last lap there. I saw you doing a lot of blocking, a lot of mirror driving there. How are you able to hold on to finish there the way you did?
Yeah, we ran really clean in the beginning, and then the end got pretty messy. And, the biggest thing was the timing on the restarts, because the second to last restart, I let the 19 stay a little too close, and then that last restart, I got a little too far away. And, we had a good race. We got stage points. We got second in the stage. We led a lot of laps. And it's Daytona, man. He had to run on the top, and I had to at least slow him down a little bit, because I know if that outside gets going, if you're side by side, outside's going to win that battle at the line every time. There's just so much momentum up there. But I saw smoke behind me. I saw trucks flying, and I apologize. I don't know who came up flying behind me. It might have been the 44. Gave me a hell of a shot into 3 to put us out ahead, and then it was just holding off the 44 at the end. So it was nuts out there, man.
Yeah, Devin, you were able to keep your truck up front all night long. It seemed like we talked about you in the top 5 majority of the race. I watched you a few different times. You were a great pusher, it seemed. It seemed that you could tuck behind a truck and push them straight to the front. What was your secret or your thinking behind that?
That's my thing that I was talking about with my Carolina Sim Racing team, is that, I hate getting pushed, because a lot of people, they don't know how to push you. I put a lot of practice in it being the pusher, and it worked out really well, man. I know we checked out with the 21 there for a while. We were able to pull away from, a couple car lengths from everyone behind us. But, my goal was, I think we qualified 8th. We were going to drop to the back, but it never really fell into place, man. We stayed top 10, and at that point, we just came in to top off, and we're like, we're gonna top off. We're gonna go to the back, ride in the back. But even after topping off with all the wrecks, we were still coming out top 10. So at that point, it was just try and get up front, push the inside lane out to the front, and try and avoid everything, which thank God we were able to do today. Everything just worked out, and that's what you need at Daytona. A little bit of luck, a little bit of skill. So.
Well, congratulations again on the win tonight. Before I ask you who you'd like to thank, I do have to apologize right up front. I'm sure if you watch this broadcast back, I butchered your last name pretty bad a couple times. So I just want to make sure. Is it Bushino?
It's Buccino. Buccino. I've gotten it all ways. But yeah, I do Buccino.
Perfect. We just wanted to ask that. But so now, again, who would you like to thank tonight for your win?
I would like to thank my brother's jewelry store. You saw him on the hood, saw him on the truck. New Craft Fine Jewelry and Design. If you are in the Murfreesboro, Tennessee area, any custom jewelry you could think of, they can get it done for you at the best price around. They do phenomenal work. I go to them for everything. Got to thank the whole Carolina Sim team, obviously, for making me a part of this team. We had a really good plan. We ran really well today, so great communication with us. We worked really well today. Pelican Snowballs. Dean's IDesigns, Intensity Broadcasting. Thank you guys for spending your night hanging out with us, watching us duke it out. And then on the deck lid, the biggest one for me personally is probably the MS Society. My dad's been battling multiple sclerosis for 25 plus years now. If you have a chance, even $1 to go to mssociety.com and donate, that's just put the word out there. But yeah, I gotta thank all those guys for being on the truck for sure, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, Devin, congratulations, and a great night for you, and a great cause that you're driving for out there.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much.
And hopefully we'll talk to you again real soon.
I'm hoping so. 14 more weeks. Hopefully we get to know each other.
Have a great night.
Have a great night, guys. Thank you so much.
Well, Zach, that did not disappoint tonight.
No, we saw some great racing all night long, a lot of excitement, a lot of different guys that worked their way to the front, was able to put their trucks out front, and then Devin with the great run to be able to bring home the win tonight.
So as we look ahead next week, we're going to be moving over to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Buckhead 140. It's going to be 93 laps at Atlanta. Hotlanta, nice slick track, totally different driving style than what you saw here tonight. And then from there, we're going to do short track racing at Bristol. Then move on to Phoenix, and then some road course racing. So this is going to be an exciting season these guys have rolled out for us here this year. Also, I'm going to give you a little peek at the what's going to be the playoffs here. As you're going to see, we have playoffs at Charlotte, and then Auto Club, Texas, the Roval, and finally ending at Las Vegas. So this is going to turn out to be a great season. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, going to Atlanta next week, watching a different style of racing. But, I've got a couple favorites I think we're going to see next week. We'll talk about that then. But as far as it goes, Zach, you have anything else you'd like to add tonight?
No, some great tracks coming up, some different disciplines, the different driving styles it's going to take. Like you said, we're going to Hotlanta next week, the fastest mile and a half on the circuit. One of the most older and most worn surfaces on the circuit. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys are going to be able to tackle that. And appreciate everyone for tuning in and joining us for the Dean's IDesigns 125 tonight.
Absolutely. So again, follow, subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Don't forget about our Twitter, Intensity Broad 1 at Twitter. Check us out there. We like to let you know what's going on in the races, as well as, post a little bit of racing humor here and there as well. So we're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers by April on Facebook and YouTube. So we're getting there. I think we're at right around 800. So we're trying to push that along. So follow, subscribe, share, let everybody know where we're at. Again, my name's Josh Hall. I've been joined tonight by Zach Wilson. Join us tomorrow night for the ISSL Super Speedway Series. Tomorrow night it's going to be Atlee and Dustin Dean calling that one. And as Atman Atlee Weiss would normally say, over and out.